SmackDown Hot Takes, where I talk about what you want me to talk about. We got Nicodemus. He says, apparently, you don't have to win the King of the Ring or anything like that to main event SummerSlam. All you got to do is walk up to the champion and ask. Yeah, Seth Rollins walked up to the champion, asked, and he got it. Then LA Knight came out, made fun of that, and then we went ahead and did it again on SmackDown when Cody Rhodes just walked up to the champion and asked, and then CM Punk was like, yeah, sure, why not? And then we got Tiz Mickey. She says, the fact that Cody just came out and got the SummerSlam title shot makes me not even care. Like, we knew he was going to get it, but couldn't they at least do a tournament or a number one contenders match? Yeah, it's like, that's the bare minimum even. Just at least give us that. You could have done Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes for the number one contenders match. Heck, you could have done a triple threat rematch with Gunther in the mix, because all three of them have a claim as the number one contender, but no, we don't even do that. Cody just walks out and says, can I get a match? And then they do a handshake. How is that supposed to really interest me? Where's the story? When the two top baby faces of Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock fought each other, you could tell there was still storylines there. When the two top baby faces, Ultimate Warrior versus Hogan happened, there was still a story there, but no, this is literally just walk on out, ask for a championship, ask ye shall received. It's like, come on. How is this supposed to get me hyped, excited? Ooh, look at that handshake. At least Seth and Roman have that history behind them of hating each other for 10 years. I get it. Like Tiz Mickey said, we knew Cody was going to be back in the main event scene, but could we, make it interesting? Could we do something? When Stone Cold lost his title, we knew he was going to win the title back sooner than later. But he wouldn't come out and just be like, hey, Vince, hey, Rock, hey, Undertaker, can I get my rematch, please? No, he would drive a Zamboni to the ring, smash into it, jump on the Zamboni, run across it, jump over police, and start beating up Vince McMahon. All right? And then when Undertaker and Kane would pull him off, guess who else would get a can of whoop butt? Make it freaking interesting. Not just walk out. How's the eyeball? That is nothing. Heck, there's more of a storyline in me giving away this title than there is Cody winning the title at SummerSlam at this moment, because the storyline that I got going on with this title is that I'm trying to give it away to quit my day job. All right? And if you want to win this belt, all you got to do is comment below and subscribe to the channel. I'm being for real here. At 30,000 subscribers, I'm going to give it away. It's not a toy. It's a replica, and it can be yours. Let's do some more hot takes. It's OTW says, Royce Keys losing to Jimmy Uso is crazy, and I'm cool with Big Jim, but Royce gotta get wins over guys like him. I love Jimmy Uso. I think he's the better wrestler and the better promo than Jey Uso. And I don't have a problem with Jey Uso either, but I think Jimmy is the better of the brothers, no shade. But the way that they have positioned people on the card, like Jimmy should be taking the L to someone like Royce Keys, because we are trying to build Royce Keys up as a singles guy. Jimmy Uso, he has a place in the Bloodline dynasty and he'll be fine. Royce Keys needs some victories, and I was just shocked. One spear from Jimmy? I don't even think that's his finishing move. So it was just like, oh, okay, weird. Like, what are we doing with Royce Keys? Give me a break. Like, there are other ways to push the guy, like having him win. Errol Noir says SmackDown should have kept to 3 hours because the pace seems even slower now. The ads were so aggressive and numerous. We're going to have to agree to disagree on that one. I do not like 3-hour SmackDowns. Killer Wolf says Baron Corbin as U.S. champion at SummerSlam? I hope not. Amber CC24 says, they're writing these storylines in crayon at this point. Come on, Amber. You know that's not true. They're using ChatGPT. Teddy Boy Ward says, while Big Jim was wrestling, I noticed his ring gear. It was caution tape. Just a little hint not to forget about his wife. Oh my gosh, Naomi, please return. You are sorely missed. And I'm not even just talking in the women's division. I'm talking in WWE. She had one of the best characters, right? She was at the top of her game. when Big Jim took her away from us. TTJC says Trick has a mink title, and I love that for him. You know, there's a lot of people hating on this new title because it's all furry and stuff. Reminds me of one of those furry caterpillars. I don't hate it. Like, I'm not absolutely in love with it, but I don't know. It definitely didn't make me throw up. I thought it was unique. I just don't care. It's just over the top, and I love Trick Williams being over the top. I definitely don't hate it, but people seem to be having a visceral feeling to it, which is okay. If you don't like something, it's fine. Don't like it. It's not the end of the world. You don't have to like everything. Bishop Marley says, it's good to see Baron Corbin back, but interrupting the Trick versus Mello match was a very odd spot to re-debut. Seems like Triple H only brings these guys back to job, so hopefully he can make someone look good. Yeah, I do think you're right. He is probably here to job. I think you might have actually said this on the One Take One Shot, that he might fill the SmackDown role of Rusev, a guy who is credible, but is going to take all the L's for the newer talent, and I don't hate that, honestly. I wish WWE had a bigger roster so people could take L's. Like, someone like Royce Keys should not be taking losses, but someone like Baron Corbin, I think we can have him take some losses at this point in his career. Although, that said, I don't want to have just a bunch of triple threats with Baron Corbin in it so he can just eat every single loss. I want to actually see Trick and Mello have a feud that completes with an actual pinfall on one of them. Bishop also says that he thought Constable Corbin was a great gimmick and the highlight of the show at the time. He should have beat Seth for the Universal title when Rollins was on the downswing that summer. Yeah, that's a hot take for sure. I personally never have liked Baron Corbin. Never. Yes, of course, I don't hate Baron Corbin, the human being, but the wrestler, I never found his character entertaining whatsoever. I know a lot of people do, and I know a lot of wrestlers have said that he is a very underrated talent, and I don't know. I have never connected with that guy. Babyface heel, just never liked him at all. But I don't mind him. I don't mind him being back on the roster either. I don't like. He's just someone that I've never connected with. Huffing and Puffing says, I thought that the whole Cody and Punk segment felt stale and forced. I don't think it's a match a lot of people want at this point, but sadly, it's what we got. Yeah, you know, it just suffered from the fact that they tried to draw it out. They should have struck while the iron was hot. Like, we should have had CM Punk and Cody during Cody's first title reign, to be honest with you. But no, we had to draw everything out. We had to draw everything out to the point that we no longer really care. Because these are the same exact characters like 2 years ago, but 2 years ago, they were still hot. Nothing has really changed since that. So unless they're going to make someone different, like, you know, turn Cody heel, turn CM Punk heel, like, we're kind of, it's not like we hate these guys, but we're bored of these guys. We're bored of the same thing. We're bored of, what do you want to talk about? Isn't it great to be alive on a Friday night? It's like, all right, give us something else. Auburn Gin Man says, why are they treating my girl Alexa so dirty? Yeah, it's so weird that they're doing that because she's a 5-time women's champion. Marquee matches at WrestleMania. She is literally the Io Sky of SmackDown. You know, just, I exist to put that person over, to give that person something to care about. Like, Io Sky was that for Rhea Ripley, and Alexa Bliss is that for Charlotte. Beat up Io, beat up Alexa, so we can have some character development with Rhea and or Charlotte. And it sucks, like, because Alexa has done wonders for Charlotte, but do we have to, like, just forget that she has a credible career as well? Roman Reigns Acknowledge Me says, shout out to Tama and Finn Balor. It was a very good match. Yeah, it was a great match. It was interesting that we've been building up Tama. He breakaways from Solo Sikoa. He has elders now in his ears just to lose. I mean, I don't want Finn losing here, but this is one of the situations where we need to hire more people that can take L's, because it seemed like we were trying to push Tama Tonga, but now it seems like Tama Tonga is the guy that will be taking all the L's. And it's so funny. how it's so hilarious how WWE wants to bring up the fact that they have such a history together, but they won't dare mention New Japan. They won't mention that name because New Japan actually actively is a partner with AEW. So they'll draw on their history of New Japan, but they won't say New Japan. El Fanatico says CM Punk is no longer a ticket mover. SummerSlam is already a failure with the fans. People are finally stopping spending their money on these shows. Okay, you went into it a little more and you made it a little too much of a personal attack on CM Punk, but there is substance in your main idea here. However, I will say that this is not because CM Punk isn't selling tickets. I would say this is a problem across the board. SummerSlam is not sold out night 1, night 2, and WrestleMania wasn't sold out either. This is a WWE creative issue. CM Punk is not selling tickets, you're right, but neither is Cody Rhodes, neither is Brock Lesnar, neither is Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. You have all the big names here, and they're not selling out, so I wouldn't put all the blame on CM Punk. I would put the blame on the poor writing of WWE. The creative sucks. It just straight up sucks because nobody is that interested in just walking up to the champion and saying, "Can I get a match, please?" Wrestling is more than just wrestling. There's stories, there's characters, there's banging promos, and what we're getting is just, it's just not it. But I will say this, I'm glad that WWE fans are speaking out with their wallets and not buying an inferior product. They need to do better, and they need to just stop blaming the internet for their problems. Oh, I just wish people would stop complaining. That's not going to improve your ticket sales. Improve the stories, and then guess what? The internet would stop complaining and your ticket sales would actually go up. It's a you issue, Triple H, not an us issue. Comment of Doom. I am no longer interested in seeing any combination of these people in the main event after the last 2 years. CM Punk, Orton, Cody, Roman, Rollins. I don't even dislike any of them. Just bored. Yeah, you're just bored. Like, I'm okay with Seth and Roman, but I definitely don't. I want it to be over at this point. I want this to be like, put a bow on it. It's just like, could you imagine how hyped we'd be right now if it was Oba versus Cody Rhodes? This isn't necessarily a fact that Cody Rhodes is again in the main event. It's the fact that Cody Rhodes is just in with another guy who's just in the main event all the time. If we had freshened things up and made it Oba versus Cody, how hyped would we be? Trick Williams versus CM Punk? We'd be interested because it would be different. Carmichael says, okay, I'm both happy and fatigued that Punk is the champion. Happy because he's my guy and will always be my guy, but fatigued because this is honestly isn't what I want in the main event scene anymore. The same guys over and over. It's getting boring as white rice. Now, I do take offense to this. I love white rice. I could eat white rice every day. Other than that, I agree with everything you said. It's like, I like CM Punk. I like Cody Rhodes. I would have liked for them to main event SummerSlam the first year of Cody Rhodes' title reign even. But right this second, no. I'm just like, I'm over it. I don't really care. I would rather see them fighting LA Knight. Like, seriously. After that promo LA Knight cut on Monday Night Raw, he should have came to SmackDown and been the number 1 contender. And then he should have won it. You see, it's not even an age thing with me. Because LA Knight's in his 40s, but you know what? It would have been a shakeup of the main event scene. That's what this is about. I want to see someone else in the main event. Mike Hoaxbig says they've done the exact Alexa Bliss broken arm bit before. Thought we'd forget. Turns out she's double jointed. Yeah, they've done it before. Honestly, I'm surprised it's taken them this long to do it again. B. Steezy the dad says, why can't Royce and LA Knight just mind their business? I mean, they insist on getting involved in bloodline business even after being asked not to. So, yeah, Royce probably should just back off. Jacob Fatu's a grown man. However, LA Knight, I do understand because LA Knight's been burned by the bloodline at full power before. So I can understand why he's trying to stop it before they can grow even more powerful. Dashy Negan says, making Powerhouse Hobbs a jobber is just sad. I wouldn't say he's a jobber just yet, but but he is on that road. He is definitely on the road to being the mid-card jobber. Kid Wilkes says Trick Williams has a women's United States title with fur on it. Changed my mind. You know what, though? Actually, the women's U.S. title is white. So, okay, so you do make somewhat of a point. I Love AEW Wrestling says, I hate that Roman almost never shows up on Raw or SmackDown and that has his family do all the dirty work for him. You know, honestly, they do that with everybody nowadays. It's not just Roman. Where's Rhea Ripley? Heck, where's Jey Uso right now? Almost everybody just disappears. Becky Lynch, she's been gone for a minute now too. Everybody just goes away for months at a time and come back. So please, if you're gonna hate on Roman for it, please make sure you're hating on everybody equally. The Sheepy One says, I know Corbin isn't the most popular because of how he was booked in the past runs, but I hope WWE can learn from their mistakes and actually create something great here. You know, so do I. I don't like Baron Corbin, but I would love if they could write him into a storyline and build on his character where I do fall in love with him. Because, you know, my goal isn't to just be like, oh, I hate Baron Corbin. No, I want to be entertained by him. Like, I want to be entertained by him. So I hope they correct their past mistakes when booking Baron Corbin. And Tiz Mickey says, so Gunther's definitely fired, right? I mean, who can just go on their job and choke out the boss 2 times and keep their job? Well, I'm not a big fan of my job. Maybe I should test this theory out. All right, boys. All right, girls. Those are your hot takes. See you, bye.